Hello and welcome to Dungeons and Dragons: A Darkened Wish, Season 3, Episode 4. Nothing bad is without something good. Now, let's meet our heroes, which again, I will go in the order in which you are on my screen, which may or may not how you appear in the overlay, starting with Sam.
I'm Sam the Leve, Rogue, Asmar, Aiden.
Largely in that order, I must say. Alcuin.
Hey, I'm Alcuin Gersh. I'm playing Rayonde, the human monk.
That did not sound very convincing, but you know, it's all right. I believe it.
I think my deception skill is incredibly high. I think you're selling me short.
It's like you kind of went a little Ferengi with the human. Laws of acquisition. Aki.
Hi everyone, I'm Aki and I play Karrin and Kerrin, your Wood Elf clerics.
D'Artagnan.
Hello, I'm D'Artagnan Mattaliano and I play the human fighter Xander.
But I mean, you fight more than humans, though.
Yeah, usually myself, but it's chill.
Oh, it got weird. It got very real all of a sudden. And last but certainly not least, May.
Hi there, I am Mayleigh Damage, and I play Helene, the human wizard.
See, that although you only wizard is a human, although he fights more than humans, that's the yes. So, before we continue, who would like to volunteer to be the recaptain for this episode? Like, you know, time has passed because of Thanksgiving. Are you might be a little? You're gonna chance it? I believe. See, that's what heroes do. That's what heroes do, D'Artagnan.
I'll do it.
But you know, I am certain your fellow heroes will assist you if you get stuck with this, though.
Yes. Okay. Well, then I guess should I start at the beginning? Maybe let's start in the middle. We'll go from there.
You know what? Hang on a second. I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to stall because I didn't say I'm B. Dave Walters. As of the time that you were seeing this, tomorrow I am running a one-shot for World Builders, which I'm not going to say who's all going to be in it now because it super might change in the next week. But if you follow me on Twitter or check out World Builders, you'll see we're doing some high-level shenanigans tomorrow at noon to help some people. All right. There you go, D'Artagnan.
Oh, yes, thank you. Good sir. So we started with just a normal casual banquet at Lady Eliza's, no big deal. During that banquet, though, there was some shady business going on behind the scenes with Aiden and Nosier. What were they talking about? It seems pretty shady. It was about some business plans of the past and perhaps the future. Who knows? From there, we went to a teleportation circle presented by Lady Eliza. So kind of her to escort us to hell. Immediately coming into hell, we didn't have a lot of time to check out the sites or restaurants. We were immediately hit by Helene and her band of misfit demons. She laid waste to the surrounding area with a meteor. Was it meteor strike or meteor
Swarm?
Yes. We were all very scared, me especially. I did not think I was going to get out of there. Not a very dex kind of guy. But luckily, I was looking to the twins, and they helped me be nimbly out of the way. I believe during that fight, we were both. I think we were pretty even match. So we were doing. I wasn't doing any damage. I was getting hit in the face the whole time. I think was it a Mayleigh? What's the not the tiny one, not the pit fiend, the tinier one that grabbed
Mayleigh. Multi-armed snake woman.
Yes, a snake lady grabbed Karrin, I believe. Yes, Karrin.
Hey.
Grabbed Karrin and is still currently holding on to them as of this right now. Right when we were about to strike back, that is when the pit fiend and Helene took off. Am I missing?
It was not the pit fiend. It was the red Abishai. But I'll give the monster details. That's all right. This you're hitting the beats though. You're hitting the beats.
I got hit in the face a lot, so memory's not too.
Also, your freaking crit canceling armor saved your life because you were going to get worked by that pit fiend that I'd rolled a crit on. Like you were about to get lit up, and I'm kind of still mad about that. 2 weeks later, honestly, y'all.
Do you know how many times you have done terrible things to me? As a
You killed all of us many times. Well, most of us. Many times.
Yes, but one, it is on brand, and two, I'm running out of opportunities to inflict physical and emotional trauma.
Oh, no, you're doing it just fine.
On us or on these characters?
I mean, ¿por qué no los dos?
Because I'll be there for you to murder as a game master whenever you'll have me.
True.
I think I don't know. I lost it now, but I think
that is most of the beats. Unless anybody wants to add anything, I will just fill in some of the gaps there. Because again, definitely hit the bullets. You hit the bullets, though. Yes, when you all made it into the Nine Hells, you did encounter your friend Helene with an army of devils. Technically, they're not demons. There's devils. There is a difference. As you all appeared there in Avernus, you saw the blood war raging in front of you and were essentially ambushed from behind. Yes, you very narrowly, comedically, improbably got out of the way. Oh, there it is. She couldn't even accept the fact that you dodged her meteor swarm. She's like, I'm out. You all comedically and probably dodged Helene's meteor swarm. And in the process of doing battle with these creatures, one of the things you did there is a Mayleigh, which is like a multi-armed snake woman, a red Abishai, which is essentially a more evil dragonborn, more or less, a Tarn, which is a gigantic, huge fiend of a demon, which you also realize through some lucky rolls, should it die, will explode. Tarns are basically shock troops that they send in to do the maximum amount of damage, and when they go down, do that much more damage. And of course, a pit fiend, which is just a delightful conversationalist, an all-around nice fellow that is also super upset that Xander evaded it. In the process of the combat, the red Abishai did turn to Helene and grab her and teleport away near the end of the fight. And that is where we will rejoin all of this after we roll that beautiful intro footage. Now, here on this scorched, windswept plain of Avernus, I apologize because apparently the fire department is coming to put out the fires of Avernus, but I don't think it's going to work. You all standing in the shadow of a timeless conflict that is raging between demon and devil for control of the hells have entered into battle with a woman that you have never met, and yet somehow you still seem to know. She bears a striking resemblance to your old friend, but instead, where the coins were woven into her large, frizzy red mane before, it is sleek and still, and she is instead covered in soul coins, which you all very quickly learned were once living sentient beings that have been crushed and mangled down to the primary form of currency in Avernus. In the midst of the fight, as D'Artagnan so wonderfully recapped, the red Abishai pounced on Helene and simply teleported away. However, this still leaves the rest of you still very much locked in combat with the Mayleigh, the Tarn, and the Pit Fiend, although at least now, theoretically, you have numbers on your side. And I kept track of the initiative, which quite frankly shocks even me, which means it was still Xander's turn as you watch this creature pounce on Helene, which is your primary reason for being here, disappear And it is your turn, sir. Again, you still face with the Mayleigh, 6 arms, each with wicked swords in each hand, that has said outright multiple times that it will kill those elves. There is the Pit Fiend, towering and gargantuan and winged, with a club that was actively aiming at you that you narrowly evaded, and the Tarn, who has done nothing but laugh this entire time as Helene was riding on its shoulder. And I believe Rayonde was either on his shoulder too, or at least floating nearby. And that is where you find yourselves locked in battle on this windswept, hell-scorched plain. What would you like to do, Xander?
I would like to try to save Karrin.
Okay,
That's
from the Mayleigh?
Yes.
Okay.
I just don't want to mess with those names.
You know, but you're getting there. You're batting 1,000. I will say you all are close enough that to attack the Mayleigh won't provoke an attack of opportunity from anything else, but it won't necessarily take you out of range either. So, yep, have at it.
Yeah, if I'm close enough, I would like to swing around.
Absolutely.
Chop some of those arms off if you let me.
You see it has its long green snake tail twisted up, squeezing the life out of one of the twins and actively looking at the other one through hissing, snarling teeth.
Fantastic. I'm just going to keep a stoic face and head straight towards it, long sword in hand.
All right.
And I'm going to use Action Surge as well.
Okay.
And I have 18.
Look at you being a hero.
You know, I like to say some things as a hero too, but that costs time. We don't have time, okay, Dave? We gotta fight.
Gotta fight.
I got 18, 31, 25, 25, 31, 19, and 31.
2 of those will miss. The rest will be hits.
Perfect. Then I will do the damage real quick for that. 11, 15, 15, 13. Did I miscount all of a sudden? 17 and 17, right? Is that?
I cannot see the chance cubes, my friend. You can, so you can tell me.
Sorry. Yeah, 17.
For the record, it is going to be the twins after this, by the way, so you can prepare what you're going to do. So how much damage is that total?
Well, let me get a calculator.
I would say you can get back to me, but whether or not you killed it is going to directly impact what happens to the twins on this very next turn. So that's why.
Let me add everything up.
I
just want to say that D&D Beyond's dice is amazing, but I would like an all-encompassing damage.
Yep, it'll just give you the list. You kind of got to total it yourself. That's true.
Help me, Xander. You're my only hope.
Don't
because
say
I
that.
have a -1 strength, dude. There's no way they're getting out of this without somebody killing that thing.
She's a pretty strong demon, so yeah. I mean, it can be done, but it is improbable. Just as an aside, while I'm shamelessly stalling, I really like Mayleigh. I've always really liked Mayleigh, especially when people draw them with different kinds of weapons. They're all like standing there. There's like an axe and a sword and like a bow and arrow into the hand.
They're always awesome.
Yeah,
and they have a lot of those like Clash of the Titans Medusa vibes, you know.
So,
yeah.
Mayleigh, for the weapons fighter who doesn't want to choose.
Do you know the first 2 numbers?
And they're not even filthy bipeds, Sam. Like they're like the optimal creatures. Yes, sorry. Go ahead, Xander.
Sorry, the 2 first numbers that I gave you, they deleted the thing, so I'm trying to like.
But there was 2 misses. So so I guess subtract 2 attacks and the rest were hits. And I don't think any of them were 20s.
No, yeah, none of them were 20s.
Yep.
They were all pretty.
So subtract 2 misses.
The twins are next in the initiative order, right?
Yes, the twins are next in the initiative order, and then after them, it is more of the monsters.
I have a feature named Opportunist, which is like whenever a creature within 5 feet of me is hit by an attack made by a creature other than me, I can use my reaction to make a melee attack. I'd like to use that after the twins' action.
Okay, because
I'm just letting you know.
Got it, because you are not currently within 5 feet of the Mayleigh. You're up by the Tarn, the big explodey boy. Because you were up there engaged with Helene before she disappeared.
Okay.
You're like 20, 25 feet in the air.
Yeah, big one.
78 damage, I believe.
Perfect. Unfortunately, that is not enough to... oh, wait, actually, it might be. Hang on. I thought I had not recorded their hit points accurately, and then I looked down and I saw that I indeed had. Okay, 78, you say?
Yes, good sir.
She is not looking too good, but she is in fact still up. So yes, Karrin and Kerrin, your foe is grievously injured, bloody and furious, but she is still up and in the fight.
Is she holding on to?
Oh yeah.
Still? Damn.
Oh yeah.
I didn't cut any of those arms off.
She's got them twisted up in her tail.
Oh, that's
all right. So Karrin is going to cast Holy Aura with their action. And Kerrin is going to take a nice little stabby stab with the short sword.
All right. And what will your Holy Aura do?
I will read that for you. Give me just a moment to find it again. So the Holy Aura is a nice little thing that is obviously on my sheet, and I can definitely find it again. There it is. Okay. Divine light washes out from you and coalesces in a soft radiance in a 30-foot radius around you. Creatures of your choice in that radius, when you cast the spell, shed dim light in a 5-foot radius and have advantage on all saving throws. And other creatures have disadvantage on attack rolls against them until the spell ends. In addition, when a fiend or an undead hits an unaffected creature with a melee attack, the aura flashes with a brilliant light. The attacker must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or be blinded until the spell ends.
That is going to factor in a lot because they are all fiends. So good. Yes.
Yep.
Is that when
Xander and basically I think everybody gets to have that.
Perfect.
So hey everybody, y'all are all glowy now. And if somebody tries to hit you, they're not gonna have a fun time with it.
Perfect.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You want me to copy and paste that into chat for y'all?
If you don't mind, not this chat, the other chat. Yes,
obviously.
Anything. I mean, I would make it. I'd do it wrong constantly. So,
and then
anything else? Yep.
Yeah, I believe that an 18 is not going to hit the Mayleigh, but that's what I got on my short sword attack.
It is not. In fact, as you lunge towards her, and you think you're about to, as she's looking at Xander, just one of her arms comes up and just clang, knocks it away. And turns and looks at you. She's like, you're next. You're next.
I don't think so. And that's my turn.
All right. It is now their turn. And as you all start glowing, the pit fiend kind of stops and averts its eyes for a second. Actually, I believe the pit fiend had already acted this turn. And I believe... You know what? No, we're gonna switch this up. The pit fiend. Well, first of all, one thing's gonna happen. Each of you take 10 fire damage, not counting any of your mitigation from being in the Tarn's fire aura. Sorry. And again, that is not counting any sort of mitigation. And the pit fiend looks at all of you glowing for a second and goes. And a fireball comes erupting out and hits the ground right in the middle of all of these fiends and all of you that all seem strangely unfazed by this, except for you all. So again, not counting any mitigation is...
So wait, a flame booger just hit us? Is that what it said?
Like a fireball loogie, yeah, from a pit fiend. As one does. Yes.
Do we get to make dex saves?
Yes, you can.
I imagine that Karrin is making theirs with disadvantage.
Yes, they are.
Am I in that?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so it's hawking this loogie in the midst of all of us and all of its buddies.
Exactly. Although its buddy seems strangely unfazed by fire. It's weird.
Okay.
Just gonna get it out of the way and let you know that I have a 1. So there's that.
It's not terrible. It's only 30 points of fire damage. Again, not counting mitigate. The number you need to beat, by the way, on your save is Dex 21. So Xander
That was
basically
40 damage, you said?
30.
30. Okay.
Yep. Not bad. Nothing terrible. The Tarn, however, forgive me, Rayonde, are you still currently invisible?
I am.
Okay. Xander.
Yeah.
Let's just see here.
Am I like caught on fire with this disgusting looking thing?
Yeah, I mean, the fireball went up, but you're in the fire aura of the Tarn.
Oh, nice.
And it looks at you, Xander, and it just goes. Although I don't know what's your AC?
I'll tell you in 2 seconds. 18.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I just reading its stat block again. You'd have been in so much trouble with that crit. However, it does hit you twice. For 21 slashing and 13 lightning damage. And also with its longsword and with its whip for 15 slashing and 10 fire. And give me a strength saving throw.
Okay, wait, what's the amount of damage?
21, 13, 15, 10.
I just realized that everybody's supposed to have advantage on that dexterity saving throw that we did earlier because of my holy aura.
You can roll it again. It's because it'll just be you'll do 15 points less if you make it. 21's the number to beat.
All right.
At least it'll take that 1 away.
What's the strength that I gotta beat?
Well, first roll again to see if you did not take that full fireball in your face.
Let me see.
Yep.
Oh, I got a 19.
Well, 21 was what you needed. So
I know, but I'm still happy about that.
That's true. It's not a 1. It's not a 1. The worlds apart. Yeah.
Yeah, and you have advantage on the strength saving throw too.
Oh,
yep.
Nice. Okay.
Do the creatures have disadvantage on attack? I believe you said.
It's
Karrin, Holy Aura, the creatures have disadvantage on the attack?
Yes, they have disadvantage on all attacks against us right now.
Okay. Unfortunately, it does still hit because it's got a crazy... but what does it need to roll against to see if it gets blinded?
Constitution.
What does it need to beat?
It needs to beat... so sorry. Every time I look at... 19.
Unsurprisingly, it has an incredibly chunky constitution, so it does still hit. Give me a strength saving throw, Xander.
That said, all of a sudden, Xander, glow very pretty.
That's true. You do look fabulous while you're getting worked out here. So what was that strength save?
Well, do I roll them now? Because I rolled before and had 19, so that's all I got.
Oh, okay, 19? Okay, no problem. Yeah. You all see the whip lashes out and wraps around Xander, and it jerks you up into the air towards it. And kind of like holds you there looking at you. Goes, as you see, he is wrapped up and dangling there.
Does it count as a melee attack?
It does not.
Son of a biscuit.
Meanwhile, we are back at the top of the round with Aiden, who I believe is under a fear aura from the Pit Fiend or from the Tarnheim.
Yeah. The Pit Fiend is big and scary, and I don't like it.
All true.
The Marileth is quite sizable and scary, and I do not like it, but I think I would rather react to that with the introduction of a sharp blade.
And in terms of like snake hybrid demon things, she's actually really pretty. She's got a charisma of 20, so it's a mood.
You know, in another circumstance, but we're here, and they're threatening to do rude things to these perfectly nice clerics. So 25 to hit.
That is enough.
Will graciously introduce 41 radiant damage into their face.
You see she is grievously injured, but still standing.
Frustrating though that may be.
Blood is pouring out of multiple wounds that you have all struck into her, but she is still up.
I will back away, shimmying away from any swipes with fancy footwork, and roll approximately a zillion to stealth. I think it's 34.
You don't know, by the way. Hang on. Yep. They're discussing on the background everybody's hit points. You unsend that message. You don't know. Yeah. Sorry. They're like, who's got hit points? Who needs healing? I'm like, you don't know. Sucks. Yeah. Okay.
I can't see how badly my friends are injured.
Saying I am hurt very badly is a different statement than saying I have 47 hit points left.
What's a hit point?
Exactly. It's where you put the knife, Aiden. It's where you put the knife that is the hit point.
Understood. Oh, so that's why bigger creatures have more of them, because it's just more. I got it.
Literally that.
So, yes, I strike, I fancy footwork away, and I hide.
Do roll it, because it is true. A bunch of them have true sight, and a bunch of them have crazy sight abilities.
Yeah,
but just keep perfect. Rayonde. You are still right behind the Tarnheim, Tarnheim, that has Xander up looking at him basically, and is actively radiating fire.
And one of the twins is still wrapped up by the Mayleigh.
One is wrapped up, and the Mayleigh is very much eyeing the other one, but also looks very, very badly injured. Yes, Karrin and Kerrin?
I believe at the end of my turn, I had the opportunity to make a strength saving throw after I cast that holy aura. Correct?
It is your action to try and escape. It is one or the other.
I gotcha.
Mm-hmm. It's not like a charm or something that you break. You have to actively try to get away from it. Okay?
Gotcha.
The Mayleigh looks very, very badly beaten, but also very alive and dangerous. Yep.
Okay. And there's also a pit fiend.
They're currently engaged with you all as the Pit Fiend, the Tarnheim, and the very badly beaten Mayleigh.
Okay. All right. So I'm flying, but if I use cunning action to get a dash out of it, that would give me double my movement. So that's 120 feet of flying movement for me to use. Could I use that to? I basically want to try to hit the Tarnheim, right, which I'm already in melee with. And then based on the results of this, I'm going to try to basically move from one enemy to the other and try to see if I can stun everything. And then we've got a turn to get away.
So you want to like try and hit, move, the three of them?
Yeah. So let's start with the Tarnheim, right? Which is the one that's holding
I'll let you have that, because I already said they're fairly close. So you actually won't even need tons of movement. You'll need some of it, but yeah, I'll give you that.
I mean, if I can do it with 60 feet of flight.
Yeah, you can do it with 60 feet of flight.
I'll do that. Okay, well, then I'll use my cunning action for something else. But let me start with trying to hit the one that's holding whatchamacallit?
Perfect.
Xander. All right, so I have advantage on that because I'm invisible. And I got a 27 on that.
That is enough to hit it.
Okay, so I'd like to try to stunning strike on that.
And it has to save, correct?
Yep. I'm trying to find the DC for you here. I've got it here somewhere. Why do I always forget where that is?
It's a lot to keep track of.
DC 16 for the stunning strike.
Con?
Yes, Constitution.
It got a natural 20.
Oh, well, okay, so that's not good.
But better to use that up now than when it's hitting you after all this.
All right, well, it still takes the damage from that attack, which is 11 points of damage.
Okay.
I'm gonna try one more on this one. I have my second attack, and then I'm gonna spend a key point to do flurry of blows. But for now, my second attack, I'm gonna try another stunning strike on. So that one is 29 to hit.
That is enough.
7 points of damage.
Mhm.
And again, they've got to roll the DC 16 for the stunning strike.
Give me an insight check.
Is this like, would you know that this is not working? Let's see. I got a 15 insight.
You get the distinct impression it will be very hard to stun this thing. Not impossible, but it will be
'cause its
very
constitution is
difficult.
like 25 or something ridiculous.
Very
Okay.
difficult. As you
No,
are
it doesn't
like
have
punching,
disadvantage. It doesn't have disadvantage on any of this stuff because of the holy aura, does it?
it should not. Nope.
All
And
right.
it really, as you're like hitting it and you're seeing the ripples go through its flesh, the ripples just aren't going very far. As you're like,
Yeah, it's a big one. How do I get my friend out of this situation? How do I deal with something I can't stun? It's my whole kit.
I know that feel.
All right. Xander, the rest of this is your problem. I'm gonna move over to the Mayleigh,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna see if that one is a little easier to stun. So,
Okay.
point for the flurry of blows.
Okay.
I get an additional 3 attacks.
Okay.
I
The
still
first-
love you, just so you know.
Thank you. Dark Rayonde appreciates it. 22 on the first attack. Does that hit?
She holds up one of her swords and knocks your fist out of the way and just looks at you and hisses.
My dagger, huh? Okay, she's
Mhm.
parry. Did she parry it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna try another one then on her.
Okay.
She's only got a limited number of parries. Well,
Mhm.
actually, she may have 4 parries, but I guess we're gonna find out.
6 arms. Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
But anytime she doesn't do that, she's make her spend her points. All right, so it's a 25 on the next attack.
That is enough to hit her.
Okay. And she's not parrying this one?
She is not.
Okay. All right. So she takes 9 points of damage. You know what? I'm going to throw a sneak attack on there.
Perfect.
So 13 points of damage total for that attack. And then it's the DC 16 stunning strike save.
So doubly, not only did she roll a 1 on the stun, she only had 11 hit points left.
Oh, okay.
So as you smash her, you hear a satisfying crack in her ribs. And Karrin, she just turns back and looks at you and opens her mouth like she's going to say something, and blood just pours out of it. And she down into the sand.
Okay.
And
so I still have my cunning action then if I didn't need to use it.
Mhm.
Can I grab them and take them to safety?
Yeah, I'll give you that. You could lift. Although if you try and grab them and leave, it will provoke attacks of opportunity from both the Pit Fiend and the Tarn him, because they're both still here. But they are at least currently loose from the grapple.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go for it because
Okay.
they'll have disadvantage on the attack anyway.
Okay.
So
what is your AC currently?
17. The disadvantage because I'm invisible.
I rolled horrifically, but they both have really big pluses. Okay.
That's all the case for these high level games.
Yep. Hold on, let's see here. The Tarn does swing at you with his sword, and it does miss. The Pit Fiend, however, bites you for 22 points of damage. And give me a Constitution save.
Okay. Well, I have resistance on because of I resist all damage except force because of my empty body thing that made me invisible. So it's 11 damage, you said? It was 22,
yeah,
but
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me get
That's
that.
not counting any mitigation. Are you immune to poison?
I'm not immune to poison, I don't think.
Okay. Con save.
You also need to make a con save because I believe bite is a melee attack.
Yes, to see if it gets blinded. But it does succeed. Okay. Again, these are big old chunky demons.
Yeah. So this is a con
One
save.
One of them is going to fail eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Con is what you're saving against.
All right. Does an 18 succeed?
That is not enough.
Okay, I'm going to spend a key point, re-roll it then.
Okay.
That's better. That is a 24.
That is enough.
Okay.
Because that poison is very nasty. Okay, you do take that bite and you fly away. Meanwhile, on a nearby hill, Helene, you reappear with this red Abishai. It's like, my warlord. You are muted, by the way. I have gotten you to safety. I felt Lord Asmodeus would never forgive me if you had fallen in battle.
Yes. Okay. See that that may be true. What's your name?
Tukshai.
All right. Tukshai, do you remember what the original instructions from Asmodeus were?
Yes, conquer and enslave all living beings, as they always
No. With this group, I told you at the beginning we have to bring them to God, none of you ever listen.
Conquer and enslave, yes.
Okay, yes. But see, here's the thing. We can't bring them to Asmodeus if you brought me here.
I understand how this might complicate things, but as you've seen, they have slain the Merilith, and one of them appears to be absconding with one of the elves. They are very wounded. We can still strike.
And you know what? If we were still there, we could. But we're not. We're right here. But you know what I can do?
Teleport us back so that we might rejoin the fray?
Yes, but first this. And I hit him with a level 9 vaporize.
You're going to disintegrate this dude?
Yeah, I'm going to disintegrate him.
That's so evil.
You know, I'm not even going to make you roll that many dice. He's like... No, wait, I assure you, I will have... In ashes, just sprinkle down to the sand. And as you look back towards the battlefield nearby, Helene, you do see one of them flying away while the other three, carrying one of the injured parties, while the other three are there still locked in battle. The young human, the one whose face seems the most familiar to you, currently wrapped up in the flaming whip of
to clarify,
the
it's still invisible, so it looks like Karrin is just kind of floating away under their own power, I guess, maybe.
I suppose so, huh? Yeah.
Since I'm not technically in initiative right now, do I have the ability to cast my mage armor on myself and also fly?
Yeah, I give you that.
All right, I will do that, and I will fly up to them as fast as possible.
What does your mage armor look like when it shimmers into existence?
Oh, it's very pointy and jagged and kind of very dark and like brimstone. You know, kind of like the Daedric armor in Skyrim. It's got that like very menacing look to it.
Important point of clarification. Are you chasing the one who apparently is flying away, kind of like Woodstock, like flying in the air backwards? Or are you rejoining the big fight?
I'm going to go to the one flying away.
Perfect. Your armor leaps into existence and you fly off in pursuit. Perfect. All right. Then we are back to the monsters. Although the two that were acting in this initiative were the Merilith and the Abishai, and they are both dead. So then it is Xander's turn, although you are currently wrapped up. However, you are also still in its fire aura. So all of you, again, take 10 points of fire damage, not counting mitigation from the fire. Actually, not yet. You will take that on the Tarnheim's turn. I apologize. It's going to happen. Technically not yet. So yes, you are wrapped up, Xander. You can still try and act, but you will have disadvantage unless you try and use your action to get away.
am I wrapped up in its tail?
Whip.
In its whip.
Hmm.
And this is the thing that's not flying, right? So I'm just
Correct.
on the ground.
It's
whip.
just big, like it like grabbed you and picked you up.
How
Yeah,
big
not
is it?
about. It's huge, so it's about 30 feet tall. Think the Balrog. Lord of the Rings. You shall not pass.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I feel it.
yeah,
I'm right there.
Yeah. Hmm.
I'm picking up what you're putting down.
What is picking up is you. So yeah.
Yeah, I would like to get out of it. I guess. Can I roll to get out of it?
It would be another strength save to try and get out.
Okay, what am I looking for to beat? Do I get advantage because of the? Actually, I just got 20. So
A natural 20.
yeah, I just got a natural 20.
You know
We're
what?
flex. Okay.
That is true. You know what? On the natural 20, like squeaking out, I will still give you an action when at least one attack or something when you land. So you do just like whoop pop out.
Perfect. Then yeah, I'd like to I don't know, chop at its big toe. I guess
Okay.
it's 30 feet.
Perfect. Roll it. This
It
one is largely unharmed, but remember also this is the one that will explode when it is defeated.
Oh.
But so far, there's not really a scratch on it. Well, Rayonde hit it a couple of times, but he's looking pretty stout still.
Well, just because it wrapped me up, I want to just give it a what for.
I understand.
I got a 33 or 33
that is enough.
hit,
That is enough to hit it. Yep.
and then I got 16 for the damage on that.
For the first time in this entire fight, it has stopped laughing. And just stares down at you.
If it wasn't so big, I had something else planned, but
Yeah. Both the Pit Fiend and the Tarnheim are both huge, but the Tarnheim is definitely bigger than the Pit Fiend. I gotta take that back. The Pit Fiend is only large. So it's about 20 feet, and the other one's about like 30, 35 feet.
Well, we're here now.
Yep. Kerrin, who is still there in the midst of the fight, what is Kerrin doing? Seeing your twin lift off into the air.
I think the twin knows. I think that Kerrin knows that Karrin is okay. So what they're going to do is they're going to run up. It was the Pit Fiend that had a hold of Xander, right?
It is the Tarnheim, but he escaped. So
yeah. Regardless, Kerrin is going to run up to. This is a bad idea, so I'm not going to run up to the Tarnheim. But I don't. Scotty doesn't know that the Tarn. Wait, we do know that the.
No, you actually know that it's going to explode if it dies.
So Kerrin is going to run up to the Pit Fiend and cast Harm on the Pit Fiend.
Oof,
needs to roll a Constitution saving throw and still takes half the damage, regardless of whether it passes or fails.
I want you to know I got a natural 20 and a 2 because it's got disadvantage on this. So what did it need to beat on its con save?
19.
It does not make it. It went from a 20 to a fail.
All right, here we go. 14d6.
14d6.
56 damage.
Oof.
They run up and they just touch his calf and sink just a crap ton of necrotic damage into this mother.
Perfect. Minus 56. Perfect. And you do see its leg begin to wilt and crack under your magical touch there. And it turns and looks at you with hatred in its eyes. Karrin, however, give me a perception check.
Showa. That is going to be a 23.
As you are flying through the air, hurt though you may be, carried by Rayonde, you can see from some distance Helene is coming after you, flying through the air.
Rayonde, we've got company.
Oh, well, I mean, I was going to kind of test the water and see if you were interested in fighting from here, or maybe just us leaving. I mean, 2 of us surviving is better than none.
What are you talking about? I am not leaving my sibling behind.
I figured you might react that way, so what's the plan?
The plan is that we keep the Red Wizard from killing us.
All right, so just team up buddy interception is what I'm hearing.
I mean, sure, why not?
All right, hold on. I've got a pretty wide.
Why do I get the feeling that that's not something you and I have ever really done before?
Oh yeah. This seems familiar in a weird way. This is actually not the right time to talk about this.
Okay,
so, yeah.
You do have an oddly nauseating glimpse of a bucket for some reason. Just that voice and a bucket. And you're like, what? Just such
Why?
muscular soreness through just like perfect. All right. So it is now it is the remaining monster's turn. Now everybody but Karrin and Rayonde and Helene, of course, do take your 10 points of fire damage now as its fire aura is going off. Also, the Tarnum has a bone to pick with a certain young cleric. So, with disadvantage, they got a 1 on one of the attacks. The other one, unfortunately, is going to hit. So, in the interest of being sporting, Karrin, I will let you decide.
You mean Kerrin?
I do mean Kerrin. Yes, it's funny. I do mean Kerrin. Which is very on brand because I'm also the Xander that can never remember it. So it's both. Like I am a diamond. I contain multitudes. We're gonna do the old 1d2 here, okay? Because one of its attacks is gonna miss and one of its attacks is gonna hit. So, I'm just trying to figure out which is the better one for you. You know what? This is a happy occasion. I'll let you decide. One will do more damage, but one has a worse consequence. So you can either pick or we can let fate decide. You are muted, my good cleric.
Considering that I'm holding on by a shoestring, I think I'll take the consequences over the damage right now.
Perfect. The longsword hurts a lot worse than the whip does. The whip lashes out and does 15 slashing and 10 fire damage.
Okay, give me just a second. 15 and 10, you said?
Yep.
Oh gosh, 25.
Need a
Okay.
strength saving throw or to be wrapped up in the whip and yanked into the air again.
Well, at least I have advantage.
That is true.
Let's see what happens. I don't make it because, it's a 14 minus 1. So it's just 13.
Again, that's true, but it wasn't a 1. Also, I apologize. I'm about to sneeze. I'm sure I'm going to stop mid-sentence. Xander, you there present such a pleasing target for this pit fiend here. Xander.
Awesome.
It looks down at you. Well, you know what? Hold on a second.
Just gonna ask, is it a melee attack?
Oh yeah, it was a melee attack. Yeah.
All right, good.
You know what? Hang on. We're gonna let fate decide here. We're gonna let fate decide what it does. I'm like, I don't know if it's good for you or bad for you. But it looks straight at you, seeing you all beat up and bruised and cut. And Aiden, it turns its head and looks right at you and says, "Sneaky, die," and explodes, lashing at you with its claws and mace. What is your AC currently, Aiden?
17.
All right, so some of these are going to be disadvantages. So hold on. Let's see. Although it is very difficult for this thing to miss with its bonuses. Yep, those are going to be hits. And you avoided a natural 20 with the disadvantage. So you got that going for you.
Which is nice.
Which is nice. Unless you are going to uncanny dodge or anything of the sort, it is going to land with all 4 hits.
I'm going to uncanny dodge the biggest, ugliest looking weapon that imparts damage to me.
It is going to bite. It is going to claw. It is going to hit with its mace, and it is going to hit with its tail. You can tell me which one of those you uncanny dodge.
Oh, that's the worst. It's the small attacks that kill a rogue because they can't. Burst damage is fine. Okay, cool. The end of Aiden. All right. I'll uncanny dodge the.
Hang on. Give me insight. See if you noticed something about what has happened in this fight so far.
Oh, that's a 19 on the dice plus 7. Yeah, 26.
You notice its bite was poisonous. You saw when it bit Rayonde, you saw venom coming out of its fangs.
No thank you to that, please. Thank you. No.
So at this level, does Uncanny Dodge make you miss completely or just half damage?
It Uncanny Dodges always half damage.
Perfect. So you don't completely avoid the hit, you just avoid the damage. Or mitigate the damage, right?
Yeah, nah. It's evasion that lets me completely avoid.
Perfect. Okay, so the damage on the bite is 11, but give me a con save.
Yep. Okay, that's not bad. That's 16 plus 3. Yeah, that's as good as I'm gonna do.
That is unfortunately not enough.
All right.
You will take 21 points of poison damage, and while you are poisoned in this manner, you cannot regain hit points. However, you do get to make the save again at the end of your turns. So remind me when we get there. The claw is 17 slashing.
All right.
The mace is 15 bludgeoning and 21 fire.
All right. I'm down to 1 hit point.
And the tail is 24.
I'm down to none hit point.
You all watch this thing explode, just like snapping and clawing and smashing at Aiden, and then just whips around with the tail and just sends them tumbling end over end and looks at you and says, now that's a fallen angel. And it looks down at you and winks, Xander. And then
Kerrin feels a very strange twinge in their heart. Very, very strange twinge. It's all weird feeling in here right now.
Yeah, I'm like broken inside and definitely want to save my friend.
So I need to double check something very important because this might actually be even worse. No. Aiden, it is your turn right now. Yes. And being knocked unconscious in and of itself does not end the poisoned condition. So you take 21 points of poison damage right now.
Auto fail my first death save.
Does that but you do have a chance to roll to see now, because it's not a conscious thing to see if the poison ends. Right. So give me another con save. It's a gnarly. I believe you're making these with advantage.
Yes, I am.
It is,
but I also make my first death save. Well, my second death save now, I suppose. So that is not going to be enough to end the poison because a 16 on the dice wasn't enough. So.
And while poisoned in this manner, you cannot be healed.
Which is great. But hey, things like Spare the Dying aren't healing, so like,
honestly, I was thinking that in my head. I just wasn't going to say it out loud, but that is true. Spare the Dying is not healing.
I actually do have one thing that will actually cure the poisoned effect. Just saying.
However, in the meantime, how'd you come out on that second death save, by the way?
I'm good. I got a 17 on that.
Xander and Kerrin, you watch. Not only did Aiden immediately get smashed to the ground and is laying there, you are watching these black tendrils snake up his neck and face as you see it quickly moving through his veins. And the pit fiend just looks down and goes, "Won't be long now." And literally just like slaps the Tarnham like they're just friends. And it had been laughing and then it got all pissed and it saw that and it goes, fallen angel. Meanwhile, in the skies over Avernus, Rayonde, it is your turn, and next it will be yours, Helene. However, you see the red. Actually, both Karrin and Rayonde, give me perception checks. And Helene, you can as well.
Nat 20 for a total of 34.
Oh,
25.
Perfect.
I almost got a nat 20. I was this close. I literally watched it go and no.
18.
Helene, you don't see what happens, but you hear the Pit Fiend and the Tarnham start with their throaty, horrific laughs. So you realize it must not be going all bad over there, but you're still very much eyes on the prize. Both Rayonde and Karrin, you all are completely aware of the fact that Aiden has fallen. Rayonde, with that natural 20, I will say you even see the poison creeping through his veins, especially because it almost poisoned you. So you're aware of exactly how bad off he is. Karrin, you are simply aware that he is down. But the Red Wizard is very much between you and him.
And how far away?
Oh. Well, we've already established you're super fast. So you were like 60 at least. Because that was the point. You were like, I'm gonna come like grab and dash. So I'd say 60 feet.
From Helene?
From Helene, I'd say you're 30 because she was actively pursuing you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use I'm still invisible, but I'm gonna fly some distance away from Karrin. And then
well, hang on, to be clear, you were carrying them while you were flying. So are you like coming down and putting them down, or
yeah,
because they can't fly? All right, okay. So you swing. I'll let you drop a cleric as a free action.
Very gently. Gently. Only the most professional service here on the airways.
This cleric is empty.
Avernus elf eating. Yes.
My work here is done. My feat of heroism has been accomplished, and I will see you all later.
Yep. I will say, yeah, you can come down low enough to let them off harmless. Helene would not Helene. Give me another perception check.
16.
You are aware there's got to be an invisible person just by how they looked in the air flying, and came down and kind of but that in and of itself doesn't help you know who or where they are. But you are aware there is both a visible and an invisible foe out here now. However, it is in fact Rayonde's turn. Helene goes next, but this is something that you do in fact notice, Red Wizard. Okay.
I'm going to fly a little bit away from Karrin at that point. And Helene still has like coins and stuff in her hair, right? It's just not large as it was previously, right? But there are still coins and objects and stuff in there. Yeah. Okay. I would like to cast silence on one of them.
You absolutely can do that. I'm just Helene, give me a quick Arcana check, because whether or not you notice this will affect whether or not you would try and counterspell this.
Well, that's the thing, is I'm invisible, so she can't.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, she doesn't know. You even casting
and I'm
a spell,
also
you stay invisible.
This is shadow arts. This is ninjutsu, not spell casting. So
yep. You, Helene, you just hear the roaring chaos of the battle just drops away. But what that also means is you can't cast any spell that has a verbal component, which is most of them. In fact, I'm looking at your sheet right now. If you pull up your spells and you look down that right-hand side where it says notes, any of them that have a V, you cannot currently cast because you cannot talk, which is a lot of them. Although, was that it for you, Rayonde?
I mean, I have a cunning action that I haven't used, but I don't think. I guess I got dash, disengage, or hide. I mean, none of them really help me at this point. So,
yeah,
I think I'm good for now.
That is. Yeah, no, that is delightfully cruel to do to a wizard, even as I'm looking at all of her spells. I know, because something like this happened to me myself earlier this week. We were in the ocean. It's like, you can't talk, no verbal spells.
I also feel like in some situations, if you know what the object is, you can throw it away. But with the coins in the hair, it's like, which one is it? And, you know,
however,
would she do that? Would she throw away one? Are these still valuable to her? You know, I don't know.
I need to check one other thing here.
We're so proud of you.
Just to clarify, I can't talk at all, even to like negotiate or anything. I just can't speak.
You can't issue orders to your demon buddies.
There is a zone of silence around you currently that you would not know the source of. I'm checking a couple of things here. Not to be overly meta, but I'm like some of her specific like wizard abilities and things. I'm just making sure that there's not anything she can do here.
That said, I feel like there's a alternate universe Helene right now that is so proud of her boyfriend that she can't even function.
True, but it is not this one. No, even the staff doesn't help. It has to be targeting you for the staff to do what it does. Yeah, nope, you don't know it's coming, so you can't counterspell it. Wait, well, hang on. Wait, let me just check one. What's the name of the ability that you just used?
It's silence using shadow arts. Shadow arts let me spend a key point to use things like darkness, silence, pass without trace.
Does it say you actually cast the spell, or is it like you cast that spell?
It just says to cast darkness, dark vision, pass without trace. So I mean, yeah, I guess it is still like casting a spell, but that's the thing is if it's done, it isn't necessarily something, it's a traditional like arcane way to do it, you know?
Yep. No, I'm just checking one thing because that was.
And all the same, I'm invisible, so she wouldn't have seen any gestures from my hands or any of that sort of stuff. For her, it would just go silent.
Yeah. It's just real. Just for the sake, not to be overly meta here, the thing I'm weighing in my own mind is that spell does have a verbal component. As it has a verbal component, and I already said she knows she has another adversary. Does she have a chance to have heard it, and by hearing it, possibly react to it?
That's your call.
Helene, what's your passive?
This seems fair. What is your passive perception? Hang on, I so happens I have Helene's sheet here handy. Let's see.
It's 10.
Yeah, her passive perception is 10, passive insight is 16. I have said there's a war raging nearby. I don't know. I think it works. Yeah. Even the staff of the Magi she's got can nullify any spell that targets her, but you can target her. You targeted the coin. So, yes, Helene, technically you can still fly. This does negate most of your spells, although you theoretically could still fight with your staff if you so chose, but you cannot currently speak.
So if it's a like surrounding silent aura, can I hear myself speak but can't hear anything outside of it? Or it's just literally I go to open my mouth and instantly realize that I can't say anything? Let me know when it's my turn. Is it my turn?
Well, was there anything else, Rayonde?
No, that's it.
Yep. Then it would be your turn. Yep.
Helene goes to open her mouth to actually just talk to them. And when she does and realizes she can't speak, she just continues to fly there looking menacing, hoping no one notices.
You would be able to get right up to Karrin if you so chose, or do you stop to like loom in the air and like
No. I would have shouted from a distance away. I'm not trying to get near them. I'm trying to get them to stop fighting.
Got it. So you come in when you realize that things not going to happen, you kind of pull up and just look cool in like with the staff in hand. Perfect. Okay. Give me an Arcana check.
Yeah, it's a natural 20.
Well, with a natural 20, you are a wizard. You know somebody hit you with silence, but you didn't feel it. So it's got to be on something you're holding. However, with a 20, I will say you narrow it down to your coins, but there's no way to know which coin. Theoretically, silence could be on anything. It can be on your boots, it could be on your robe, it could be on your staff. But our house rule is a 20 always succeeds. So you know what's happened, but there's no way to know which one of your coins is the culprit. Yep.
Like
but for now,
I'm just gonna play it off like nothing's happening. I'm just playing it off.
No, it's a G move. And like the lightning crashes behind you right then. Like the Lord of the Underworld is on your side here. The moment that you pull up to flex on him. Top flight. Meanwhile, it is the dead monsters. So Xander, it is your turn. You see you have these two very, very fearsome foes. Give me a perception check, Xander.
Yes. How far away is Aiden from me, by the way?
I said this was all pretty much all in the same area, even though like dramatically they tumbled a little bit when they took that last hit. They're still within range. You could get to them without provoking an attack of opportunity.
Okay, I definitely want to do that. Let me do the perception check real quick.
Mm-hmm. And you very much hear this Pit Fiend and the Tarnham are very much laughing. Like, I mean, it's Xander, it is back to all the times that you have played Summer Ball when you were a boy, the military maneuvers where the soldiers go out and play the sporting games and very much taunt each other is what you're there. Whatever fearsome aggression you were seeing from the two of them, the act of having struck down this Aasimar is basically like seem like they're not even afraid anymore. They're there, but they're very much like, never mind. This is good. I'm gonna mop them up.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I run to Aiden and kind of like hold Aiden. I'm like, Aiden, no, please wake up, and I give him a few kisses and just kind of embrace him. I take out my rope and if I can, tie him onto the back of me securely. And then if I don't know how many actions that takes, but I would like to use the other ones. That's
to get to him, comfort him, and try and secure him would be that's your action.
And I'd like to do action surge.
I was about to say
a little bit more.
Action surge doesn't allow for another action. Yes, it does. Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Then I'm gonna do action surge. And what is the closest one towards me?
They're about equidistant.
Okay. So the big one's a big walking bomb. Probably not gonna smack that one.
Right. I will say you've realized a couple of things, especially you being a tactician. You got two problems, Xander. If Aiden stays here and stays in range of this firearm, because you all are burning every turn from just being around this thing. It's like a furnace. That might kill him. But if you turn and try and run away, they will have a chance to attack you. However, with your action surge, if you chose to disengage, I would say you will be able to get away without getting hit, but then you leave Kerrin there to face them both alone.
Well, isn't this one of those checkmate scenarios?
Some monster presents you with a sadistic choice.
Kerrin is like trying to very psychically send the message, I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna be okay, I'm gonna be okay, you can leave me behind.
I'll give you as a free action, you're trying to give him one of these, whether or not he listens, Give me a perception, Xander. Did I already ask for that? I apologize if you answered.
23, yeah, I actually forgot to tell you. I got 23 for it.
You see semi-simultaneously Helene barreling down on Karrin in the sand and just stopping and pulling up. You don't hear them because there's a battle raging, but you realized, she had Karrin dead to rights and didn't do anything. You notice that? Doesn't necessarily help you, but you are aware of it.
So many things are happening right now. It's not fair. Okay. I definitely see what you're doing there. It's Kerrin, right? That's one up. I see that. Definitely going to ignore it. My rage, it fuels me. So I'm just gonna go and attack. To be honest, it's probably a
Okay.
silly thing to do, but I don't think I'm gonna be thinking too well right now. So yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna do that.
the pit fiend is not exploding, and the pit fiend is the one that just leveled Aiden and look right at you when it did it.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah,
Well then, yeah, I thought it was the what's the other one called?
Tarn him.
Tarnhim.
Tarnhem. I think I've said it
Tarnhem.
differently every time, but tarn
No,
him.
that works. The tarn him.
Go establish dominance. It's what Aiden would want.
Oh, dominance will be established. I got 16, 26, 34, and 31.
And now Karrin is
ahead.
feeling the weird heart thing.
But only if you're 5.
Now Karrin is like, oh, here.
What is it? What is this? It is that is what was the lowest one? I apologize.
It's gone now. I think it was a 16. I think it was a
Yeah, that is one miss. I think it was a 16 as well.
Okay, so then let's do this real quick. The one miss would be 3 attacks, correct? So it's 32 for damage. And I would like
32 total or 32 on the one attack?
32 total. I wish it was attack. That'd be amazing.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would like to just chop off an arm. Just let me have it. Just let me have this.
That works.
I need to disarm his arm. All right.
That is not at all how this works.
Well, I just let out like a blood curdling roar. I do it now, but I don't want to clip the mic and scare my family. And just start wailing into this pit fiend. With,
I mean, and you watch as he like lunges for it, slashing at it, and you notice the first one you like swing, and it just like kind of moves the club in the way and blocks it idly, and just looks at you like, this little man wishes to do battle. And then the next two, they were like, gag, gag, gag. It just it does sort of like look at you, and its eyes narrow. This is fine. I shall break you both. And that brings it to the twins' turn, which you do have a rapidly decaying Aiden now strapped to Xander's back.
Karrin looks up at Helene and kind of tilts their head to one side. We'll deal with you in a moment. And then you establish that we're within 60 feet of them. So they reach, they like from their chest, like the radiant glow that had already been around them intensifies. And I'm going to cast Mass Heal, 700 hit points to be split up among the party and heal any of their, this is a 9th level spell. It will heal all diseases and any effect. So that, yeah, I think that's going to cover it.
Mass heal, you say?
Mass heal, 700 hit points. Everybody gets at least 140. So
it was just 25. Yeah. I'll take 25 and then
hang on. Let me read something here.
All creatures I can see within range.
It is. Oh, this is. He can't be healed in this state, and he does not have a disease. He is poisoned. So this doesn't help Aiden at all.
That is okay.
The healing washed out amongst the rest of you, which is good because everybody else was beat up. But you notice he does not budge an inch.
Is it okay for me to cast Spare the Dying as a cantrip from Kerrin then?
It is.
Cool. So I'm going to do the mass heal, and everybody that can get hit points will get hit points. I basically bring everybody back up to full with that. And then Kerrin reaches out to Aiden as Xander approaches and casts Spare the Dying.
Perfect, which stabilizes him. However, pending how this poison thing shakes out, he still is about to go back down into death saves. But at least for the time being, you essentially reset that clock. Perfect.
Yeah.
Anything else?
And like Kerrin just kind of looks at Xander and sees like the anguish like that's on his face, and is essentially just like, whatever I got to do to help you out here, I'll do it.
It is their turn. Helene, you hear in your mind, Warlord, we've crushed one of them, And the pathetic healing magic of that elf will not save them for much longer. Shall we break them or simply restrain them? And although you are silenced, you can talk to it telepathically.
Why don't you restrain the remaining ones? I've honestly never fought a more worthy group. I'm kind of interested in picking their brains a little bit. Either metaphorically or physically. We'll work that out later.
Yes, I can't guarantee the fallen one will survive my poison.
Oh, that's fine. I just want the majority.
Yes, Warlord. Let's see. Xander, what is your AC currently?
18. I don't think it's 18 anymore because I don't.
Now is when you all take the 10 points of fire damage, by the way. Or in this case, Aiden, that is still 10 points for you because you're in the area. Kerrin and Xander's 10 points. Because again, the Tarnhelm is literally on fire, standing there. AC, my friend.
Karrin doesn't take it, right?
Kerrin, yeah, no, you're 60 feet. That's plenty far. Neither does Rayonde.
I think it's 18, but yeah, it says 18 here.
Yeah, I mean, what? Then that's what it is, Broseph.
I think it. Okay.
Is Holy Aura a concentration effect?
It is. I should go ahead and roll those.
Yep.
But I have advantage on all of them. So.
Yep, because they've gotten beat up a few times.
I got a natural 20 on one of them.
Hey.
I got a natural 18 on the other, which gives me
two is plenty.
Cool. Then I'm good.
Okay, Xander. Give me hold on a second. Xander, give me a wisdom save.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. It will be wrong one. I said wisdom, right?
Wisdom. I believe you have advantage.
Oh yeah. It doesn't matter because I got a natural 20. What is going on today? I get all these 20s, but they don't really help me.
That helps you a lot because it looks right at you and it just says, "You stop there." And you feel yourself sort of like stiffen for a second, but then you're like, "No, wait, I'm not stopping. Actually, I'm not."
My rage fuels me.
However, let's see here. Done. The Tarnhelm, however, they have such ridiculous stat bonuses. It lashes out with its whip again. Give me a strength save.
That is going to be... Oh, dude, I just got another 20. That would be 35. What is happening?
It does hit you, but when the whip goes to wrap around you, you dodge it. But it is 15 slashing and 10 fire.
I got Aiden's luck with me, apparently.
as it goes to yank the whip towards you, it misses. And the two of them just sort of look at each other and look back at you and says, "You all are lucky the warlord likes pets." Aiden, however, unfortunately, at the top of your turn, you do take another 22 points of poison damage.
All right, that's a first failed death save.
And need to make a death save, but then you get to make another con save to see if you can beat the poison.
Yep. So that's a failure on the death save.
Kerrin, you see Aiden shakes and starts convulsing, like visibly on Xander's back. But give me that con save.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And also a failure on the con save.
and you see the webs of this poison are like moving all through them now, and their mouth is kind of like open slightly, and you can see it is starting to even come out of their mouths. It is very clear to you they're dying.
Angels should not go to hell.
They should not. However, Rayonde, we are back to the top. You know what you've done. You also see Helene has stopped and is looking very imposing there. But again, with your natural 20, you're also quite aware of the state that Aiden's in.
I think I probably want to get close to what do other people look like as far as like how well they're doing? Like,
well, that mass healing hooked up pretty much everybody but Aiden. Xander took a couple of additional hits just now, but he's still looking pretty good compared to where he was.
And
Aiden,
where
however,
are the two twins?
They're split up. One is pretty close to you, staring down Helene, or at least being stared down by Helene. The other is very much at the foot of these, fiery monsters.
All right. How far is Kerrin?
Basically 60 feet, essentially. You basically made it 60 feet away from the main battle, so everybody's kind of clumped together.
All right, so
60 feet away.
Still invisible, but I'm going to use my normal movement to make my way over to Kerrin, and I'm just going to, speak to her speak to them at a level that's high enough that they can hear me, but not, I mean, there's a lot of chaos going on.
I'll give it to you. A lot's happening here. I'll give you that. You could get across a small word.
I understand your valor, but we really need to flee. I've locked down the wizard for who knows how long until she figures out how I've done it. But anyway, we've got to get out of here. Aiden's in very bad shape.
You don't think I don't know that? Get close. Grab my sibling. We're getting out of here.
You want me to go get Karrin? Or Karrin?
Yes.
Sorry. All right. I as a player am not understanding what the plan is here.
You're muted, Dave.
I was just gonna say that was 60 feet to get over to check with them, but yeah, I believe it said
the plan is that we're going to get out of here. We have a trigger that triggered phrase that we can say to get pulled out of here, like now.
Yep. So grab my sibling and we're leaving. Is what you were told.
Well, then wouldn't you come with me?
Well,
wait,
you don't know
Xander
that you could get away from you don't know that you could get away from these two. Yeah.
So everybody else, like Xander and Aiden, are still around here, right? They left.
We're locked in.
Okay. I thought Xander got Aiden away.
No, still very much locked in the middle of all this. That's
That
why
was
they
from
want
Dominance, you might recall.
That is why Goose. Shout out to our homie. That is why they want you to bring their sibling closer.
Then I'll use my. I guess I'll use dash as my action, and that gives me another 60 feet to go over to Karrin.
Yeah. I basically, if you want to move, talk to them, dash, go back, grab them, and then have your action be come back, I would allow that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy if you think about it. 6 seconds to be like, and Helene, again, you notice they just sort of take off flying in the other direction, like.
Well, I'm invisible. So.
Yeah, I know, but you don't. But Karrin is not.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
But is that your intent to essentially do that?
I asked what the plan is. I've been given the plan, and I am executing the plan.
So, Helene, you witness all of this, and although you cannot speak, you can talk telepathically to the pit fiend.
I asked the pit fiend to throw me something sharp.
Pending what you want to do, you have your Staff of the Magi. It is sharp, although you wouldn't necessarily want to throw it, for instance. What is it?
Well, if I have a sharp object on me, you said I was able to distinguish that it was one of the coins, just not which one?
Yeah. You're aware it's the coin.
Most of her coins are actually on one side of her head in a couple of different braids. So she's just going to take the Staff of the Magi, hold it out, and just shuck the hair off the one side of her head and throw it to the side.
and you hear that cloud of silence going down, and you hear the of the chaos of all the battle return.
Battle haircut is
Oh,
best
so
haircut.
It is your favorite song, Helene. It's always playing down here. Always playing.
And I assume that counts as an action?
I'll say that's a bonus action.
Okay. My action.
So to be clear, pending what you want to do, they're all kind of bunched up together again. Is they're trying to get out of here. You are aware that again, Aiden is incapacitated, and that they are all panicking, basically.
She is actually going to shout down to all of them and kind of do a slow clap as she does and go, okay, look, guys, well done. Just wanted to give you a little test. I'll call these guys off if you'd like. Who are you?
Are you calling them off now?
Well, see, that depends. Now you're asking too many questions. You're mucking this up. I asked you a question first. Who are you?
Can we help our friend before you decide to have a chit chat?
Do you
might know how
appear?
to help your friend.
Helene,
No, I knew that from.
no, but Helene, you know that voice. You know that voice. You're like,
Is it the same voice that, because I do forget if our dear Kinku friend spoke in his voice or in.
Salivagant did speak in that voice, calling out your name. Yes.
Also you in particular, whoever just said that. And do I see them?
He is invisible. You just heard him. You see everyone else. And you are aware that someone is there and invisible, but you have heard them but not seen them.
I'm periodically moving to different points around Helene while staying invisible, but I'll talk. But I can move very quickly, so whenever I say a word, I can move. But I'm basically just saying, let us get our associate back up, and then we'll talk. Send your dogs away.
Since we're out of initiative, I will say that you kind of are stuck in this cycle of spare the dying and the poison and spare the dying and the poison. Like, Aiden is clearly not doing well, but it's not.
Kerrin is like at this point so frustrated by the fact that they have nothing they can do about this poison that they're like just tears streaming down their face. And Karrin will have joined them at this point and is also sort of looking Aiden over and is looking around them and seeing that there's not much of an option. They look at Kerrin. You know, there is something we can do. We can't call her, not here. But she would come, and only she has the power to take care of this. We at least have to try. And I think that they are currently discussing using their divine intervention for Aiden at this point. But we can come back to that if there are other things that need to get taken care of right now.
Okay. So as of now, they're debating it, but not actually using it, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, because like they really don't have anything else that they could possibly do to clear the poison. This is kind of basically Aiden needs to die for them to actually be able to do anything. So
I will say, once the warlord starts talking, you see the Tarnham kind of like shimmers for a second and the aura goes off. Helene, they're standing there like baking, and then it sort of looks at you like, oh, stop killing them. Like, turns the fire off. But the pit fiend does crouch down next to you, Karrin and Kerrin, and basically right over Aiden's body. He's like, it doesn't look too good. You all really owe the warlord Lord. All the praise in the world
Yeah,
for her mercy.
I immediately get in between that thing and my loved one, and kind of like shoulder check, push it out of the way.
With the moment you kind of touch it even a little, it looks at you, Helene, like, please let me mess this dude up. Oh, I'm just.
Yeah, I'd be a little careful with him. He was not able to get all of the mouth fleas in this morning that he wanted to on some of the prisoners. So just a little touchy, maybe be less touchy with.
Yeah,
him.
you could say the same about us. So what do you want from us? Because clearly you seem like you're on a mission to capture us, which is kind of weird.
No, you showed up in my area. I don't know who you are. It's kind of like, a thing we do. When people show up unannounced, we try to figure out who they are. Look, I'd say I'm sorry about your friend, but I'm really not. What is an Asimar doing here? But like I said, why don't you all come with me? You can tell me your life story. You look very fancy. I'm sure you have many tales to regale me of. And perhaps we can take your friend somewhere that will actually help them. Because, see, this is above my pay grade, but it's not above my boss's pay grade. So...
How close?
I mean, it seems easier just to send your friends away, and then we can talk here.
How close is Helene?
Again, I don't really know you, and I feel uncomfortable being here by myself. A girl alone.
The
underworld.
The pit fiend looks at the pit fiend looks at the Tarnham and goes, "They're afraid of us." And it just goes, and it's a loud bellowing laugh. How close do you get? I mean, you're flying, so are you 60 feet still? I mean, how close do you get, Helene? Xander was asking.
Not too close yet. I'm waiting for them to show signs that they're calming down and a little less edgy before I move in any closer.
So, in like feet?
60 feet. Because they were 60 feet away during all this, and Rayonde, she's just in the air.
Okay, cool.
60 diagonal feet because she's flying. But you do see this face that that face from the visions, but this person is not her. That sweet, curly-haired, headstrong, brilliant, wonderful person is not this devastating force of nature that you see before you, that even these tremendous devils and even a demon that honestly shouldn't even be on this side of the conflict are clearly listening to and taking orders from.
Why don't you come down? We can talk civilly. Let us heal our friend, and we will go with you.
I'll come down and talk to you. I don't think you have the ability to heal your friend, or you would have done it already. I kind of realize all the chips are in my hand right now, but I will do you the honor. I will do you the honor of I'll send a pit fiend, dear. You just back off of them by just maybe 100 feet. Just give them a little space. Just give us a little space right here. I'll call you if I need you.
Wow, Warlord. Your wisdom and intelligence are supreme, but these fleshlings are treacherous. They seek to deceive you.
Yeah, I kind of figured that, but so you're making them a little nervous, and rightfully so. But I kind of want to. I just want to talk.
It does just start slowly walking backwards, and it says, "The Asimar's blood was surprisingly sweet." And it kind of beats its wings and pulls it back a few feet. and it does move back like she asked it to, but it just sort of like paces over there like a tiger while about 100 feet away. The Tarnham is still standing there without its fire aura, and it just sort of like turns and looks at the fact that he's gone and goes like, sweet.
Do I think that the pit fiend is far enough that he might not be able to hear if I talk softly?
So the exact state of affairs, the Tarnham, which you know is kind of dumb, is still right there. I mean, he's moved back about 20 feet, but he's still pretty close. The Pit Fiend is probably out of earshot, but not out of telepathy range. That's 120 feet. I will say you know this. So if your intention was to get him far enough away that he couldn't even hear your thoughts and let you hear his, you could command him to do as such if that was the goal.
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay. He does as commanded, of course.
My empty body is up now. It only lasts a minute.
Mhm.
So I'm still in flight. I'm hovering basically near Helene at this point. So she should be able to see me.
What do you currently look like?
I've got long black hair that's tied back. I have a red it looks like a skeletal sort of dragon mask that I'm wearing, and just like a ninja outfit, basically. Like sort of, loose fitting, but with stuff like wrapped around the calves and the forearms.
Helene, that's wrong. You know that voice. You know this person, but it's wrong in a way that you don't understand.
I will get down to the ground and kind of keep my eye on Rayonde, looking
I'll
very...
land too. If she's descending, I'll follow.
Mm-hmm.
And I will get closer to the group and kind of do this bit and put my hands up and face it back so that they know I'm not going to hit them with another fireball. And I walk up to them and very quietly say, I don't know who you are, but there is something about you, and I'm not quite sure what it is. I find it very intriguing. So let's start over. I realize that was a bit of a rough introduction. However, and she keeps kind of looking over at Rayonde as she's saying all of this. She goes, also, is there something wrong with that guy? I don't know what, no offense, not like wrong in like, there's something wrong with you, but there's something wrong with you.
Oh, there's plenty wrong with me, love.
Okay,
Maybe
just
we should have this conversation once everybody who's supposed to be a part of it is actually capable of doing so. And Kerrin and Karrin are going to link hands over Aiden's body, and they begin their prayer to Coralon, who, by the way, I misgendered is he, him. And basically begin, like a ritual prayer. I mean, mostly for flavor, because divine intervention is just, hey, God, do you hear me? Can you come help me out? And that's kind of essentially like Kerrin especially is kind of tanking a lot of this prayer as they're trying to get themselves to stop crying. And Karrin is just like holding their hands very tightly. But yeah, it's like, what strength you have given us, we have expelled. And without your help, we cannot bring him back. We need you, even here in this place. Come to us and grant us the ability to make him well.
Helene, you hear this prayer go up for them, and it is an odd sensation. You've heard prayers before. Prayers to Asmodeus is usually for his mercy, to avoid his retribution. Please do not hurt me. In the battlefield, you face countless clerics screaming, in the name of blah, 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 they all end up right here in the end, Helene. But as these two are talking, you hear a noise that you're not accustomed to, that war, battle, pain, death, torture, all of those things. That has been your life. But it's a rhythmic vocalization. Is this singing? Is this music?
Ooh, that is awful, I think. No, awesome. Somewhere in between.
As you all are doing this, this disembodied music does get slightly louder. You still can hear the din and crash of the war all around, but on the ground around Aiden, because I'm going to assume, Xander, you put him down somewhere along the way, even in the parched, cracked sand of Avernus, flowers start to blossom all around him. And their leaves and vines kind of wrap around him, and then you notice they start to even slowly enter into his mouth and enter into his ears very gently. And you start to see the black lines of the poison on his face go down, and you start to see the black lines forming in the plants as they pull it all out of him and down into the ground. And the plants start to wither and twist as they are taking this away from him, until it brings you back to 1 hit point, Aiden. And
There we go.
we
Look, your angel's
immediately-
fine.
Yeah, after that, we immediately dump 70 points of heal into him.
Aiden, you see Helene standing over you, a large shock of her red hair cut almost down to a buzz cut down along the side, looking over you, very confused.
As soon as this happens, I would like to grab Helene, cover her mouth, and through gritted teeth say, "Lady Eliza, help us, please."
I don't fight him. I just stand there and kind of give him looks like, is necessary?
When you tackle her and put your hand around her mouth, you see the pit fiend goes, "Treachery," and lunges forward like its wings extended. And the Tarnham even like goes with its club to smash down on you. And you hear in your mind, Helene, "Warlord, we will avenge you. We will invade and conquer." And you hear just a cool gust of wind in your face, Helene. All of you do. As this horrific place just falls away into whiteness, and you're standing back in that teleportation circle with Lady Eliza and Nosi are standing there, and behind them about a dozen heavily armed guards. And she... Oh, Helene, you see this beautiful dark-skinned woman, which in the time you all were gone has changed into a sort of a very shimmering chain mail. She has clearly prepared for battle, as has Nosier. He is wearing heavy plate with a staff standing there. But her demeanor changes instantly when she sees Helene. What manner of divine creature is this?
The one we went to retrieve.
Can she speak for herself?
Yes, I let her go.
Mighty warrior, please do not strike down my loyal defenders with your obvious might and power. I am Lady Eliza Deresian. And she does give you the full break leg almost down to the floor, Helene.
Very nice to meet you. You're very lovely. Your friends are a bit rough. Where am I?
I believe you are home. These heroes have risked all life, limb, and their very souls to rescue you, their lost companion. Truly, truly, it is a wonder for the bards to sing of. And when she says bards to sing of, you see Nosia goes, and outside on cue, you hear, victory! Helene, this is another noise you've never heard. Reveling?
Did you guys bring me back here to join a cult?
I mean, it can't be any worse than the one you were in hell, so...
Yeah.
Oh,
We
that
were
was
about
so
to
much
say
fun.
that was
These people
What?
look really happy. It's a little disturbing, like too happy. Maybe I'm just not used to it, but that's a bit much.
Well, they're not with us. They're just here in Snowden.
Always, for some reason, apparently. Just hanging out.
Gotcha. Sorry, you said something about going to get a lost member of the group. You can't be talking about me.
we are. We all know you. Or at least we did.
Oh, that would actually explain a lot. However, so as I was going to say, before I was so rudely roughed up, and she does turn her face and look directly at Xander, deep into his eyes.
Hey, poisoned over here.
Yeah.
Not
Mhm.
anymore.
You're an Asimar that went to Furnace. You had to see that one coming, but I think. Is there someone else, perhaps, that you are missing?
I don't get it either. But no.
We've been trying to puzzle it out, but that's about as close to Rayonde as we can figure.
Rayonde, was that the one who keeps going invisible and non-invisible, and
Yeah, I'm right here.
My shoulder. Okay.
You can see.
You're.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little disorienting in these transportation circles sometimes, especially when you wind up in a weird alternate dimension that's not on fire.
All right. There appears to be some confusion here. I'll take my mask off, and I take my mask off, and my human face is underneath it.
Okay, your voice. You keep talking, and I know your voice, and I've heard it recently. Are you all missing a Kinku?
You all
Are we?
also felt that same familiarity with that little kinku that was tied to the slab there.
Yeah, we saw this Kenku, and yeah, I'd say we at some point must have known him.
I will go so far as to say all versions of Salivagant are still messengers. Aiden and Xander have probably had dealings with him somewhere along the way.
I can confirm. I just want to say during this time, I'm definitely checking Aiden and making sure they're completely fine.
Oh, he absolutely is, yes.
Yeah.
Completely.
Still injured, still fine. When this is happening, you see Lady Eliza kind of walks towards you, Helene, and she says, you mentioned not on fire. I apologize that our accommodations were not to your liking. Please allow me to correct that. And when she says that, the hearth roars to life, burning in flames, and every torch in the room lights. And she says, I know you all have been through quite a lot in the very recent past. But if I might have just a word with you, mighty wizard, I promise I will return you to your friends to catch up properly.
I feel like you're the one that kind of like brought us back here and might have set this up. And I don't really know if they're my friends or not yet. So I'm just gonna listen to what you have to say and hear you out.
Just if I might. And she just motions towards a nearby room.
Helene will reluctantly follow, and as she kind of walks through the door, she looks back around at the room at all of them, and then she looks right at Xander and goes,
Too busy looking at Aiden.
As she sees this, Lady Eliza does like a very graceful pirouette, and she says, I have upheld my end of our accord. I trust honorable beings such as yourselves will maintain yours. And twirls again and goes after Helene. She does not wait for you to respond.
All right, now, call me crazy, but I think that Helene has got a thing for me. Honestly, are you picking the same vibe up that I am? Honestly.
No, not even close.
Because I've got to be honest. Most people do not like me. That's fair. That's just fair, right? But the people who do usually really do. So I think she's got a type, and that type is me. So the question is, how do we use this to our advantage?
You know what?
I mean, she's clearly a very unbalanced person, and she lives in hell. So I don't think it's going to work out for us.
Says one of the people I think might be the most unbalanced of all of us here.
Yeah, you're the closest to a demon.
That's fair. Tough but fair.
Hey,
Aiden, looking better than you were a minute ago there, chum.
Thanks. Thanks to them. Thank you.
Yeah, you two. That was powerful. Did you summon a god into hell?
Wait, for little old me?
Yeah, it was actually it was pretty impressive to be
There were
honest.
flowers. It was nice.
Yeah.
Kerrin is like
Contrast.
Kerrin is starting to go like a deep crimson, is sort of tucking themselves behind Karrin, and like Karrin is like, well, it's not necessarily something we would have done in any normal situation, but you were
No, just when I'm in danger, in mortal peril. No, I understand. You're a hero. Both of you are.
I want to start a
When you say that, no seer just says, divine intervention. How delightful.
Only some people take their calls, you know?
Are you? I thought this was just like an us hangout. Why is he here?
He's always here for some reason.
I am head of my lady's security. We were also prepared should you be followed by hostile forces to rescue you.
We are so grateful for your protection. Could you do that protecting from outside the room and let us have it?
He takes a step very much towards you, Rayonde, right in your bubble. And he's like, please do not be confused by how the Duke is allowed to speak to me, Sellsword. You are not royal.
No, Sierra, if you could leave the room, that would be fantastic.
I don't really think you don't want to risk her displeasure. I mean, even if you're not scared of me, you're scared of her. So go on, get off.
We shall guard the door. And he turns and they move off. Helene, as you come down this tunnel, you see tales of false gods that you yourself have spent years crushing and breaking the servants of, etched all over these walls. You know their prayers, at least their last rites, in many, many different languages.
As I walk by the tales, if there's any kind of like little pictures of any of like what's going on, like little hieroglyphs, I'm gonna go, oh, I remember that guy. Oh, he cracked like an egg.
As you walk a little bit, the lady comes behind you afterwards and she's like, would you be terribly offended if I were to escort you into one of my private sanctums? I am throwing myself on your mercy that you won't attempt to harm me once I'm separated from my guards.
You have all successfully made me more intrigued than I usually am at these circumstances. So for the sake alone that I kind of want to hear what you have to say, I can guarantee that don't worry. I will not hurt you until you're done telling me things. And hopefully I like what you have to tell me. No offense. It's kind of who I am.
Helene, give me an Arcana check.
$21.
You know, even though she's doing this meek and mild thing, the magic necessary to yank you all out of Avernus is no small thing. She's acting all, but you're like, she got some juice though.
As we continue to walk, I will say also that wasn't like a personal threat or anything. It's just, if I don't make it back to where I need to go, my boss is going to be super angry. And yeah, he's worse than me, especially on Mondays.
I understand the horrific burden of having been plucked from your home and deposited among barbarians, having to bow to their customs and learn their ways and diminish yourself to fit in. And she leans over against a wall and you hear a click and it slides open. And another hidden door opens. After you.
This feels very trap-like, but... all right, if anything happens to me, you have Asmodeus to deal with, so at least that'll be fun. And I do walk in.
She says, I assure you, as I give you my word as a warden of House Kendrick, that no harm will come to you underneath my roof.
Okay.
When she leads you in there, you see the room is dark. It is lit by torches, but it seems like it's still darker than it should be in here, honestly. And it is, this setting would make really anyone else uncomfortable. But for you, it's actually so shiny and bright and pleasant everywhere but here. That this, while is not exactly this tone of Avernus, it is still more comfortable to you than the rest of this place.
Oh, okay. I see what you've done here. What's that word? Apologize. I apologize for being so harsh. This is lovely.
You honor me in a way that I do not deserve, but I assure you, you needn't sublimate your ferocity for my sake. I actually have a small proposal for you. I'm quite aware of who you work for, and I'm quite aware of what he wants. Perhaps if we work together, we might find a compromise that works well for both of us. And that is actually a good place for us to stop, because we got another D&D show, so I hear, that is coming up after us that the kids are on about. So thank you for tuning in. Join us next week, Thursday at 5. Like I said, tomorrow, noon, I'm doing something for World Builders. Check my Twitter. I'm sure I've said it by now because I'm talking to you from the past.
Is that the 11th for World
That is the
Builders?
11th. Noon on the
I'm doing
11th.
something for World Builders on the 12th. I'm part of that too. It's like the
Hey.
is it celebrity charity D&D?
You're gonna find out when it happens. That's it. That's what I'm not even gonna say. Not even gonna say. But at any rate, thank you for watching this. Now join us next week when it's all gonna be fine. It's all gonna be fine, and we'll see you next time.